So the last case of back-to-back actions that we're going to look at is state of being. So let's learn this through examples.
All right.
Okay, first sentence. He ran after the van yelling. So in the sentence, he ran after the van, we actually have a complete action sentence there, right?
Right, because we have a doer and an action and a doer, meaning the sentence is complete.
Exactly, right. So the word yelling is an additional piece of information, right, in this action sentence. And what is this additional piece of information telling us? It's telling us the state of the man as he runs after the van.
So he was in a state of yelling as he ran after it.
Exactly. He was in a
Okay.
state of yelling as he ran after the van, right? In other words, it's yelling is telling us the man's state of being.
Okay.
Okay, another example. I watch my child while he sleeps. So complete sentence here is I watch my child, right? That's a complete action sentence.
Right, doer, action, receiver.
Uh-huh. And then while he sleeps is an additional piece of information, right? What's that additional piece of information telling us? It's telling us the state of my child as I watch him,
Right.
right? So he's in a state of sleeping as I watch him,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that is telling us the state of being. Okay, last one. The cat blinked lazily. So our complete sentence here is what?
The cat blinked, doer, action.
Yeah, doer action. So that's a complete sentence. Lazily is our additional piece of information. And what is it telling us? It's telling us the state of the cat as it blinks.
The cat was lazy.
Yeah, it was in a state of laziness as it blinks.
Okay.
So do we understand conceptually what a state of being is?
Yeah, it's when you're describing someone's state as an action happens.
Exactly. You're describing someone's state as an action happens.
Is that what we call an adverb?
Yeah, it is an adverb, right? If you know the technical word or if you studied grammar before, it's an adverb.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see how this looks in Arabic. State of being in Arabic. So here's our golden rule, or actually golden rules. So when you have two actions in one sentence, remember this is a case of back-to-back actions, right? The first action describes what is happening, and the second action describes how it is happening.
So we're going to have a sentence that has two actions.
Uh-huh.
The first action tells us what's happening. So, for example, like sleeping or watching from the previous sentence. And then the second is going to be the adverb.
Yeah, the second tells you how the action is happening or the state of being, in other words.
Okay.
So if we were to look at the examples from before, right? The cat blinked, say. What is happening? The cat is blinking, right? How is that happening?
So lazily would be the second action in Arabic.
Yeah. So the cat is blinking, that is what's happening, and then how is it happening? It's happening lazily, or in a state of laziness.
Okay.
You see?
And so for the second sentence, watching is the action, would be the first action in Arabic. While he sleeps would be the second action because it's describing the how.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he ran after the van yelling, right? Running tells you what's happening, and then yelling tells you how that's happening.
Okay, so yelling would be the second action in Arabic.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yelling while he sleeps lazily aren't really actions in English, right? But in Arabic, it would be an action, right? So you have two actions.
Okay.
So let's look at some actual Arabic examples. Okay, so وَجَاءَهُ قَوْمُهُ يُهْرَعُونَ إِلَيْهِ. So you see we have two actions in the sentence. First one is
Ja'a,
جَاءَ, right? And the second one is
yuhra'una.
يُهْرَعُونَ. جَاءَ means to come, يُهْرَعُونَ means to rush, right? And so we see this reflected in the translation. His people came to him. That tells us what's happening.
So, okay.
And then rushing, our second action, tells us how that's happening. So what is their state as they come to him? They're in a state of rushing.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Another example, وَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ يَسْعَى. We have two actions here. First one is
Ja'a again.
جَاءَ. The second one is
Yasa?
It's yasa, yeah.
Okay, that one is one of those labelless.
labelless action. So we have two actions, جَاءَ and يَسْعَى. We know جَاءَ means to come, يَسْعَى means to rush. Again, a different word for rush.
Oh,
But here we have a man came, right? That's our first action. And then rushing is our second action. Describes how the first action happened.
Okay.
Right, so came just tells you what's happening, rushing tells you how it's happening.
So it's rushing is describing the state of the man as he came.
Exactly.
And the same with the previous sentence. Rushing describes the state of the people as they came.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Good. Okay, one more example. وَتَرَاهُمْ يُعْرَضُونَ عَلَيْهَا. Again, we have two examples. First one is tara, that's another labelless one.
Oh, okay.
And then yu'raduna is our second action.
Okay, okay.
That's a passive, right? U'a, present passive. Right, so tarahum is tara means to see, so tarahu means you see them.
Okay.
And then in what state are they as you look at them, as you see them? They're in a state of being
exposed.
yeah, being exposed to it.
Okay. I think I get it. So if you see two actions in one sentence, and we recognize it as one sentence because there's nothing telling us that there's a new sentence.
Yeah, there's nothing breaking it.
There's no like connector letter, there's none of those symbols at the top or
Yeah.
anything like that that's telling us it's a new sentence.
Uh-huh.
So we know that it's part of one sentence because there's no breaking. So that second action is basically describing the state of somebody as the first action happens.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you see two actions in one sentence in Arabic, you know the second one is describing the state, and then you'll translate it, like we said earlier, in one of these three ways, right? So either ly, ing, or while.
Okay. In all of these examples, it's ing, but sometimes we might be use ly, and sometimes
Yeah,
we might use
and even if you look at these examples, some of the other translation would work. Like his people came to him while rushing. You could say that as well.
Or could you say his people came to him hurriedly?
Yeah,
Something like
something like that.
Okay.